You're eating better than you used to. You're moving more than you used to. And the scale hasn't budged in 3 months. Sound familiar? Well, here's what nobody tells you. Fat loss after 40 isn't just about calories in and calories out. There are 5 daily habits that a huge percentage of men are doing right now. Habits that feel completely harmless, that are quietly torching their progress from the inside out. I'm JD. I'm a pharmacist with over 30 years in healthcare, a judo black belt, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu brown belt, and a guy who has personally battled the exact same stubborn gut problem I'm about to help you solve. And I've watched hundreds of patients do what they thought was everything right and still struggle. And I've finally figured out why. And stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which of these 5 habits is working against you. And more importantly, what to do about it starting today. Let's start with the one that's quietly wrecking 50% of people's results every single night: poor sleep. And I know what you're thinking. JD, I'm a busy dude. Sleep is a luxury. No, sleep is not a luxury. Sleep is the most anabolic, fat-burning, testosterone-protecting tool in your entire arsenal, and it's free. Here's what happens when you shortchange it. Studies show that even a single night of poor sleep can drop your testosterone by up to 15%. Less testosterone means slower recovery, less muscle, and a metabolism that is actively fighting against you. And on top of that, your hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin, go completely haywire. You wake up ravenous for carbohydrates and sugar, not because you're weak-willed, but because your body is chemically demanding fast fuel to compensate for the sleep debt you just ran up. I lived this. When I was training hard and working long hours, I was cutting corners on sleep and wondering why my body composition was going the wrong direction, despite doing everything else reasonably right. Once sleep became non-negotiable, everything else started working better. The fix is simpler than you think. Treat your bedroom like a cave. Dark, cool, quiet. Set a bedtime alarm, not just a morning alarm. When it goes off, screen goes off. No late night scrolling, no TV. Your fat loss transformation starts every night before you even close your eyes. Okay, sleep is dialed, but this next one is the habit more guys argue with me about the hardest. And I get it, I really do. Alcohol. Look, I'm a pharmacist, not your dad. I'm not here to lecture you about your lifestyle choices, but I would be doing you a serious disservice if I didn't tell you exactly what alcohol is doing to your fat loss chemistry, because most guys genuinely don't know. Every time you drink, your liver has to drop everything to process the alcohol first. Fat burning grinds to a halt. Muscle building slows down. Testosterone production takes a hit. And your sleep suffers, even if you feel like you sleep fine after a couple drinks. What alcohol actually does is suppress REM sleep, which is the deep restorative stage where testosterone is produced and tissue is repaired. You might fall asleep faster, but you wake up more broken than when you went to bed. By the way, the old research claiming 2 glasses of red wine per night was heart healthy, that has been thoroughly walked back. What was healthy was the resveratrol in the grapes, not the alcohol. The alcohol was just along for the ride. Try eliminating alcohol completely for 2 weeks and watch what happens to your sleep and your energy, your body composition, and your mood. The results will speak louder than anything I can say right now. And if you are a heavy drinker, please don't go cold turkey. Taper down slowly. Abrupt alcohol withdrawal can cause serious and even life-threatening complications. And that is not a scare tactic. That is pharmacology. Even if your sleep is locked in and the alcohol is gone, this next habit will still stall your progress. And it's the one that gets absolutely nobody talking. Short-term thinking is the silent killer of fat loss after 40. Most guys crush their workouts for 2 weeks, eat clean, look in the mirror, see nothing, and quietly fall apart. Or they have one bad weekend, assume they've blown it, and use that as an excuse to coast for the next month. Both of those responses share the same root problem. They're measuring success on a timeline the human body does not operate on. And here's the biological reality. The workout you did today won't show up in the mirror for 4 to 6 weeks. The pizza you had Saturday night won't show up on your waistline until 3 weeks from now. Your body is not running on your schedule. And I've been up and down on my own fitness journey. More honest about that on this channel than I've been anywhere else. There were years where I had the knowledge, the gym access, and every reason to be consistent, and I still let things slide. Not because I didn't know better, because I lost patience when the mirror wasn't cooperating fast enough. What changed wasn't my training plan, it was my mental timeline. I stopped looking for weekly transformations and started stacking daily decisions. Good sleep, solid training session, good protein intake, repeat. The results caught up. They always do, but only if you stay in the game long enough to collect. Stop measuring your progress in days. Start measuring it in months. You didn't build the gut overnight, and you won't lose it overnight either. All right, the long game is locked in, but this next habit is a practical one, and skipping it is the single most common reason intelligent, motivated men stall completely. If you are not tracking, you are guessing. And guessing is why your results stall. I hear it constantly. I eat pretty clean, I work out a lot, but when you actually log the numbers, the story changes every single time. People routinely underestimate their calorie intake by 300 to 500 calories per day. And that gap, compounded across a week, is the entire reason the scale isn't moving. As a pharmacist, I think about this the same way I think about medication dosing. You wouldn't guess at how much blood pressure medication to take. You wouldn't estimate your antibiotic dose. You follow the numbers because the numbers matter. Nutrition is no different. Your body is responding to what you're actually eating, not what you think you're eating. And the good news is tracking has never been easier. There are apps that let you scan a barcode or photograph a meal and do the math for you. Use them. Calculate your total daily energy expenditure and subtract 300 to 500 calories from it. That's your fat loss target. Track against it for 30 days, and I guarantee you will find at least 2 or 3 places where calories are slipping in that you had no idea about. Awareness is the intervention. The data does the work, and then there's the last habit, the sneaky one, the one that makes people feel like they're doing everything right when they're actually spinning their wheels. And this one is brutal, and it's not your fault. Your Apple Watch, your treadmill, your fitness tracker, they all lie to you. Research shows wearable devices overestimate calorie burn by anywhere from 25 to 50% depending on the activity, which means the 600 calorie workout you just crushed may have actually burned 350. And if you rewarded yourself with a post-workout meal based on that inflated number, you just accidentally ate yourself into a caloric surplus. Here's the mental model I want you to lock in. Exercise is not a fat eraser. Exercise is a metabolic enhancer, a hormone optimizer, a cardiovascular investment, and a quality of life tool. But fat loss is almost entirely driven by what goes in your mouth. Think of it this way. Your nutrition controls your weight. What you eat controls your health, and your training controls your body composition and longevity. Those are 3 separate jobs. And stop asking exercise to do the job that belongs to your fork. Stop calculating calories burned and adding that much extra food to your day. If you're using a calorie tracking app, your daily target already accounts for your general activity level. Every time you add food back because you worked out, you're overshooting your deficit and canceling the very progress you just earned. And here's one more thing we're saying. When you are in a caloric deficit, your body needs more than just willpower to stay in it. The 4 things that actually derail men in a deficit are a slowing metabolism, blood sugar crashes that trigger cravings, appetite that fights back harder the longer you go, and the emotional eating that kicks in when stress and mood take a hit. Sound familiar? That's exactly the 4-part problem we built the weight loss pack at NuLifeSpan to address. 1 daily pack with clinically researched ingredients targeting all 4. Thermogenic metabolic support to keep your body burning, blood sugar stabilizers to flatten out the energy crashes, natural appetite regulators to keep hunger from running the show, and mood support compounds to take emotional eating off the table. Clean label, stimulant-free, manufactured in GMP-compliant FDA-registered facilities. Not a magic pill, the nutritional infrastructure that makes your deficit actually work the way it's supposed to. Head over to NuLifeSpan.com or find more information in the video description. So there they are, 5 habits. Every one of them is fixable. None of them absolutely requiring a new supplement, a fancy program, or a complete life overhaul. Fix your sleep, dial back or eliminate the alcohol, extend your mental timeline, start tracking your intake, and stop treating your workouts like a hall pass for extra calories. Stack those 5 changes for 60 days and your body will not look the same. I promise you that. Not because it's magic, but because most men are currently doing all 5 of these things wrong simultaneously. Removing even 2 or 3 of them creates a completely different psychological environment. And drop a comment below. Which of these 5 do you think is your biggest problem right now? I read every one, and your answers directly shape what I cover next. Hit subscribe for evidence-based content built every week for people over 40 who want to stay strong, lean, and functional for the long haul. And share this with someone you know who's been grinding without results, because they're probably fighting at least 3 of these without knowing it. This is JD from NuLifeSpan. The body you want is built in the habits you keep. I'll see you in the next one.